In the late 1970s, toy company Mattel began developing a line of action figures with Conan the Barbarian inspired concepts. This started after then CEO of Mattel, Ray Wagner, declined to produce a line of Star Wars inspired action figures. Here's the answer to the question you've likely never considered until today. What do you get when you cross Conan the Barbarian with Star Wars? It's Masters of the Universe. I'm Ronald Young Jr., and I'm leaving the theater. All right, this is Ronald, and I am leaving the theater after seeing Masters of the Universe. Masters of the Universe. Written by Chris Butler, Aaron Nee, Adam Nee, and David Callaham. Directed by Travis Knight. Starring Nicholas Galitzine, Camila Mendes, Alison Brie, James Purefoy, Morena Baccarin, Johannes Haukur Johannesson, Kristen Wiig, Jared Leto, and Idris Elba. And per usual, for a complete listing of the cast and crew, you can go to the link in our show notes. It is just me today. All right, so Masters of the Universe is a film version of the popular 80s/90s cartoon He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, based on the it's a franchise from Mattel. She-Ra was involved. It's hard for me to explain this because I watched it as a kid, but I don't remember anything about it growing up, except that he would yell, "I have the power," and pull out a huge sword. I'll tell you a story. I have been in church my whole life, and I remember when I was a kid that they had the He-Man power sword. I used to see it on Saturday morning cartoon commercials every week, the He-Man power sword. And I went to church, and they always said, pray and ask God for what you want. Ask him for what you want. And I used to pray constantly that the Lord would give me a He-Man power sword. And he never did. And I always thought that the valuable lesson that I learned from this, even as a kid, I think I told my parents this at some point, and they said, well, why didn't you just ask us for one? And I said, because that's not what they were teaching us at church. They said, pray and God will give it to me. If I ask you, then, and I had yet to make the connection of God using my parents as a conduit for his glory. So I'm saying that to say, as an adult, it's something that I often return to as a very valuable lesson, which is that, yes, pray to God, but also make your requests known to your loved ones, to your people, because sometimes they have the power to do it. And maybe God works through people. But for a long time, I was just like, I don't understand. I've been doing exactly what they ask, but I still don't have a He-Man power sword. That is my connection to He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. This is the plot of the movie is that there's a prince named Adam who lives on Eternia, and he is one day it is just taken over by Skeletor, who decides to usurp the throne, and Adam has to go into hiding for 15 years on Earth, and until he reclaims his sword and goes home, which he eventually does in order to fight off Skeletor and take back his planet. This is a really stupid movie. This is one of the stupidest movies I've ever seen. It's a really stupid movie. It's so stupid. And I think it's so stupid and ridiculous that, and I should not have seen this as close to I Love Boosters as I did, because I come out of I Love Boosters, and when I realize that you have one singular person writing, having clear thoughts about what it is they want to do, then yeah, sometimes it gets silly, and sometimes Boots Riley can go off the rails. Look at me talking about I Love Boosters and now 2 reviews. Even though that can happen with the writer, it's not as bad as when you have 4 different writers, meaning 4 different minds on one script, because you get a bunch of idea stubs that are all kind of cobbled together, and people pretend that everything that happened in front of them was intentional. I saw this with a crowd that apparently was huge enthusiasts of Masters of the Universe, and they loved a lot of this movie, but I don't mind being the one to say that this was not a good movie at all. Movies that make you laugh can trick you into thinking that they're good. I feel like the same thing happens with Donald Trump. People do this thing where they're like, you know what the thing is though, he's funny. And I always push back to say, 1, he's not funny. And 2, just because you laughed at him does not mean he has a good sense of humor. And I feel like that's what this movie is. It is a movie that says jokes, and sometimes the jokes are funny, and sometimes you laugh at them, but I'm not laughing with this movie. There was a several times in which jokes would be said in the film, and the film didn't think it was funny. The best way I could say this is, maybe it's the way they're editing it. Maybe it's that they're not making it as sharp as they could in the moment. There was a joke made in which one character asks another character, how much do you bench? And the other character does not know what bench means. And there's this long pause, and the character says, what's bench? And an edit point would have cut it right there. It would have been faster. It would have cut it right there, and we would have went to the next scene. But instead, there's this long pause. The character says, what's bench? And then the other character is like, oh, man, in a very slow way, and then it's a cut to the next scene, and it's not really a cut. There's no face cuts, there's no can you believe this, there's no look. I'm thinking about, in terms of, if you watched Iron Man Infinity War, there's a scene in which the Guardians of the Galaxy are talking to Iron Man, and they say something along the lines of, they say Iron Man is incredulous that he has to work with these buffoons as he sees them, and he looks at them and he says he says, what are y'all gonna do? And they say, kick ass and take names. And Drax says, yeah, that's right. And the camera just turns back to Iron Man, who just looks befuddled and just kind of takes a deep sigh and then stares at the ground. That's a joke. The movie knows it's a joke. We know it's a joke. We are going to laugh at his face because we are watching him realize that he is working with perceived buffoons. That all of that is coming together. In this film, there's several times in which I'm not certain if the movie knew what the joke was, especially in the first act. In the third act, I remembered thinking, okay, so you're fully committed to the bit now. Y'all realize that this entire premise is ridiculous. None of this makes any sense. And that you don't really have to explain anything. Early in the film, there is a line that is said about Skeletor, and they said, why is he doing this? And one of the characters, with a very serious inflection, turns to the other character and said, because he's bad. Come on, man. Like, but give me jokes. Just and I feel like they were trying to make that consistent, but it wasn't consistent enough to feel intentional throughout the film. There's this whole thing where we have to figure out He-Man discovering his power, and I just did not care. We know he's going to become He-Man. Please stop torturing us. Just get him to He-Man. There's a lot of ways in which this film existing after Thor Ragnarok and after Thor Love and Thunder hurts it very bad, because Thor already led the way on how to be funny while doing this. And this movie couldn't do it. It felt like a Temu Marvel film. It wasn't funny. You know what? Idris Elba was great in it. Idris Elba was actually funny in this movie. He did funny things, and I laughed. And it was funny to see him be funny. I hope that he takes this, puts it in his reel, and because we're used to Idris Elba being funny, but being the straight man and being funny, but he's actually cracking jokes in this one. He's actually doing they give him a little bit more latitude, more than I've seen in other films, where he kind of says something that we all know is funny, but he never cracks a smile. This one, it felt like he loosened up a bit. Nicholas Galitzine was fine. I don't think this is going to hurt him in terms of getting other films. He just did The Sheep Detectives. He was fine in that. And here's the thing. This movie could make $1 billion. I mean, it could make hundreds of millions of dollars. It is already being marketed globally, so they're going to try, but it's also up against two very good horror movies, Obsession and Backrooms, two movies that will not get reviewed on leaving the theater because I'm afraid. So, and y'all know, I mean, I did Weapons. Was that not enough for y'all? What more do you need from me? Can y'all just calm down? Stop asking me. I can't do it. I'm not going to. You can't make me. So it's up against two films that are doing surprisingly well in theaters. I don't think that this one can compete, but it might. I've always been surprised by this. The global box office might bring it to where it needs to be. They're already setting up for a sequel. There's 2 post-credit scenes, like 2.5 post-credit scenes, something like that. They obviously would like to make more of these, and they obviously would like to make more money on these. I don't think they care about the plot whatsoever. So I did laugh. It was fine. I think when I walked out of the film, I had a rating in mind, but as I thought more about it, and I talked a little bit to Mike Katzif, one of the producers at NPR's Pop Culture Happy Hour, and we kind of agreed on some things, and it kind of made me say, I don't think I can do that. So I'm okay being alone on this one. I don't know what the other critics are going to say. It seemed like there's a lot of enthusiasm in the room. I do not mind being alone on this one. With all of that being said, I think it's a 2-star movie. It's a 2-star movie. I don't really want to see it again. I feel like I might be tricked into watching it again. Somebody might be like, oh, well, let's watch it. I heard it was funny. And then I might have to watch it a second time to kind of confirm my review. I feel like that would happen, but it would have to be under duress. Someone would have to force me to watch this again. Therefore, I can't even give it a 2.99. And I'd give it a 2.5, but I just don't think it deserves it. I don't think this film was good. I think it was a stupid movie. And I was walking out of the theater and I saw the poster for I Love Boosters, and I thought right then I'd watch that again right now. I would watch I Love Boosters again right now, which is I gave it a 3.99. I almost think it's a solid 4 now in my mind. I told y'all my rating might go up on that. On this, not so much. I don't want to think about this anymore. It's very annoying. Very irritating film. Did not like it. Y'all might like it. I don't like it. You know what? I feel like I'm hedging my bet because there was enthusiasm in the room that I missed. I just saw Mortal Kombat 2. I don't think this was any better than that. I think they're both just not great movies. Not great. It's not... I don't want to keep talking about this. I've said what I said. It's 2 of 5 stars. And with that... Leaving the Theater is a production of Oh It's Big Rod Studios. I mixed this episode. I am working hard. I am working hard. I'm working all the time. You know that I'm working hard. I made that song up right on the spot. Why? Because I'm working hard. I wake up early in the morning, I play piano, and then I get to work. That's what I do every single day. I have to think about what movie I'm going to see next week. What movie will I see next week? Who knows? Will it be Is God Is to catch up on that because everyone said it was good and I missed it? Or will it be something else? No, I think I know what it is. Oh, I'm blanking. Oh, it's Disclosure Day. I'm going to see Disclosure Day next week. But yeah, I'm in here working. I have to figure out how the schedule comes together specifically for Leaving the Theater. I'm also working on a pilot of a new show, and I'm also scheduling interviews for that show. I'll be doing interviews in New York. I'll be doing interviews in LA. I'll be doing interviews in the Bay. I'm still booking people. I'm really excited about this show. I think it's going to be really good. And I'm paying for it out of pocket. I got a new job, but I'm paying for it out of pocket. So everybody that helps with the Patreon, that helps. It offsets the costs that it takes to make this show. This one's going to be both audio and video. And I'm paying for it out of pocket. I'm paying for whatever funds come into Patreon and whatever money I get from work that doesn't go towards rent, food, and being alive. It's going towards this podcast because I believe in it. So I'm working really hard. And I think a lot of y'all have been with me for a very long time. You know what I'm capable of. You know what I like to do. And if you have not joined the Patreon yet, this is your time to do it. I'm working very hard. You heard the song. I'm working very hard. This is a labor of love, but it's still labor. If that means something to you, go to patreon.com/ohitsbigron or go to the link in our show notes. Show art from Heather Wilder. Theme music by the mysterious Breakmaster Cylinder. For more information about Masters of the Universe, check out our show notes. You can follow me on Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, Threads, or Letterboxd at ohitsbigron. That's at OHITSBIGRON. You can find out more about this show and other Oh It's Big Ron Studio shows by following us on Instagram at Oh It's Big Ron Studios. Leaving the Theater will be back soon. Thanks for listening. I'm Ronald Young Jr., and I'm working with perceived buffoons.